make money from the people, the poor people in the country, then they kind of like go spend them and picking them. And an education system where you, the president, you, the education minister, the ministers like around your government cannot send their kids, but yet still they tell me about like an education system where we're supposed to be proud of and its quality. Come on, give me a break, Ibrahim.
Absolutely. And Cashbox, you mentioned, this protest. Let us show again the world. When these students were actually protesting, what they did to them. Like you mentioned, our brother, the civil society activist, who is doing a phenomenon. Let me show the world this president that cares so much about education, that cares so much about these girls. Lincoln Queen College was closed. And when the students came out to protest, say, please, government, pay for our fees. Pay for our fees. We are becoming dropouts in our society. This is what he did to them.
Let's talk to them. He's telling us that I'm being arrested by the police for simply coming out to advocate for the
I think the sound is gone. I cannot hear you, Ibrahim.
Thank you, Kashi. I can
hear you now. Right.
I look back and say, why were we going after the APC? But again, it's a democratic right. Because Sierra Leone deserves more, Sierra Leoneans deserves more. Up to this point, we're still struggling with some of the basic things in life that other nations have moved past, moved forward, with. Francis Bekaifala made that point very clear. But we want the GP organizers to understand that this is what we're dealing with in Sierra Leone. So when the president goes out there and gives these speeches and talk this big, we love that. We want Sierra Leone to be on the map. This is what we want to see. But at the end of the day, the fact of the matter remains, practice what you preach. Don't go out and put this facade, this persona. I said all kinds of things about former President Nkrumah, not knowing that, the worst was yet to come. And that is what we have in President Bio. And I'll be damned if I sit back and let this man get away with all of what he's done. We have not even talked about the human rights violations because we're not talking about the massacres, the Parema. We have not even gone there. But for the GPE folks, all of you people, Malala, there is more videos. Matter of fact, let me share this video with you guys again. Because I want you guys to understand that we're not making these things up. This is just very recently again, when David Schengen tells you, pulls all of these reports, where God knows where he's getting these facts from. He cooks this data and puts it together, thinks he's the most smartest, he's the most clever, because he has a PhD in prosthetic legs. So he thinks he is smarter than every Sierra Leonean or every young man. No, you're not. We see right through you. And I'm saying this for the people of Sierra Leone. You guys reflect diaspora. You guys, we have a job to do. I'm doing all of this because I want to motivate enough of you guys to ensure that you reach out to your people back home in Sierra Leone. We have to vote these guys out. We're not playing. They have to go. We cannot continue like this. 2023 should be a time for a new dawn in Sierra Leone. The other day, you guys saw I brought Dr. Samura Kamara up here, but we know that they themselves, they are shocked. They didn't expect these guys to behave the way they're behaving. With all the GTT reports and all that nonsense. But let me show you guys this video again. This is why I say, watch what they do, not what they say. Watch what they do, not what they say. Watch this.
Oh, don't sit and don't.
Yeah. You don't start? Yeah, Master, who that would they talk to?
Yeah, when they talk to Ibrahim Sir Usman, voluntary teacher by Awandu community, Aladura Primary School. Well, we've been there at this school here for quite a while. Then on the 6th June 2021, a heavy thunderstorm and wind blew now we equal with school as soon as see now the structure we don't for them. So we cry to all the organizations, either government or non-governmental organization, for let them can we aid, let them construct this building back for let we school less map by one town here.
Wait me for 5 minutes. So what you want let government do for now?
Well, we want let government assist we. Let government give a new structure because the picking and them they're too large in numbers. We know they do no sign. Right now on a veranda now we they use for let we sit, we exam. As soon as they see the structure and they picking them, we not go able to do no sign at this way. No, the community not get no structure now we say then we able to keep it for 1 day set. We exam now under the sun we do and now with this school campus. The structure is done for them. We cry to the non-governmental organization.
Guys, this is it. So when you read the Schengen, matter of fact, I'm going to put this up here because I want you guys to see and confirm everything this guy said. Confirm everything he said about the latency of the government, the lackadaisical nature of this government. David Schengen has no control. It will tell you that he has the statistics about all of these kids, how many kids have access to education and this and that. But this whole thing happened since June. This is almost the end of July. In a responsible country, this guy gets $150 million for budget. They've never built one school. It has DSTI. They're paying themselves exorbitant salaries. All of these are facts. Let me show you what David Schengen said that confirms the statement of this guy. Watch this image, guys. This was June 15th when David Schengen posted this on his page. He said, 1 week ago, I visited a primary school in the neighborhood where I grew up. The roof had been blown away. At that photo, the priests and teachers of the school showed me around and asked what the ministry can do. Guys, listen up. I told them it would take longer to wait for government. I invited them to take church collection in the church affiliated to the school.
Oh my God.
Of health. Guys, this is David Schengen. I'm not making these things up, guys.
Oh.
I'm not making these things up. My father, who is a parishioner at the church, pledged zinc roofs. I pledged to also contribute, not as a minister, but as a parishioner. This is what we're dealing with, guys.
Ibrahim, you know, I mean, look, you just like when you talk, say not once. I mean, not one building have these guys built for any school in Sierra Leone. Not one. You know, the only school where they don't build, it's Mercury. Now they build them. Then they call the minister for go open them. Imagine a school, the zinc, the roof them blow up. As a minister, these guys have been receiving monies from even this very GPE. They receive lots of money from them. Now you they tell the school, say, if una say una they wait for government, it will take too long from the church offering. You know, yeah, look, Ibrahim, our salon people and they see this, and this government is responsible. Ibrahim, it takes me back, and I love to talk about Singapore. Just last year, Singapore spent $17 billion on the education. When they started a few years ago, they were spending like up to like 25 billion on education a year.
Wow.
Where we want to GDP waiting salon they generate can go inside a 10. This is a country with a population of 5.2 million people. They don't get half of the mineral resources where we get. Here is like our president, the big, they come, Sidona Country, Tae Mutakuye, the big, we're rich with resources. You go to the water, you go now the rutile, the diamond, the gold, Ibrahim, you know, I do an audio a few days ago where I said, if we don't take them as a country, with all waiting we get, it get all left now we earn, we're in all worth nothing. And the reason why I say this, you look at Saudi Arabia of this world, like now they see and say, gone are those days where oil now be powerful thing. Because the world they move towards green energy. So it means the oil we they get right now, you find out say production even the government can begin to release supply because they see and say, let's get rid of it before it become like, you know, like obsolete. Now we earn. Ibrahim, the diamond where they boast of, the world they produce fake diamond now, and the demand for fake diamond is increasing. End up with all what we get as a country, we go be them beginning we go begin to use diamond now, then they boss the aid, then they boss the self-aid. That's it. It don't mean nothing to we anymore. It don't turn kerosene bottle. All waiting we go for the same and the left day. Then we just say, oh, this country be get diamond. Because the world is moving. People are making fake diamonds now. With all waiting we get, we cannot do anything with it. Why look at them picking them way to line, the roof don't go. Now then the big, not the government only, then the big, you know, everything that we have to do that is our right. We always have to beg for it. They're begging the NGOs, then they beg the government for go fix them. With all the waiting we get, Singapore have $1 trillion, me family 500 billion debt now in Singapore get. All they do is to buy raw materials from countries and then they produce them, they export them. We get the raw materials, but Singapore now ideas now they use. Then these people use money for stone money, then take $1 trillion, 500 billion debt. Now they get. Then turn around the country. We see them with all what we get, with the dance on top with gently. All day with the dance and nonsense dance them on top with gently. It get from then now we are it become obsolete. Ibrahim, over to you.
You know, I have this all this thing on, you know, Singapore, you know, talking about their schools and stuff like that and all of that. You know, this is beautiful Singapore, guys. We were all in the same situation. We were all in the same situation in the 60s. Let me let this play out a little bit so you guys can hear this.
Singapore was the top of the leaderboard across 3 subjects: maths, reading and science. In comparison, Australia came out significantly lower, coming 25th in maths, 16th in reading and 14th in science, well behind other OECD nations like Estonia, Poland and New Zealand. So how has Singapore climbed to the top, especially in vital STEM subjects, while Australia continues to fall behind?
Guys, I don't want to make this about Singapore, right? But why are we showing you guys these? Singapore, 63, 64, 65, they came together as a nation, put their party aside, put their tribes aside, and said, you know what? We're going to fix their countries. But this conversation is for the organizers of the GPE. We want you guys. All we are asking is, yes, you're going to give us this money. We need this money so badly. But please, what measures are you guys going to put in place to ensure that this money reaches the girls that they're supposed to reach? Guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share just another video from one of our sisters that spoke virtually on this conference. And she's a Sierra Leonean by the name of Josephine Kamara. And I kind of tie that with what happened with the Lincoln Queen. So let me show that just what she said about the concerns that the students of Lincoln Queen had. So you guys can, again, let's paint a picture, because we want to hold this government accountable. President Bio, David Schengen, we hope you guys will learn a thing or two from these experiences, what we're teaching you guys. Because guys, what we're doing for you is, you cannot pay us for this. It is priceless. What we're doing for you guys to get your government on track, because what we care about now, we come to Sierra Leone. And every Peking worker will go sleep and suffer. Every 7-year or 8-year-old Peking where they come out, they put stick in their head for go sell. But like I'm taking care of your family. That is why we're doing what we're doing. It has to change. We said APC was not doing what we wanted to do. We kicked APC out. And then you guys came. It's been nothing but disaster and trouble. So what we're going to do, we're showing you guys what true governance looks like. And that is the power of democracy. And that is why the same things that we did when we spoke against the APC government, it is the same thing that we're going to do to speak to you guys so we can teach you. But because you guys, when you guys come to power, you become so arrogant thinking you know everything, or you guys are the smartest or the cleverest. Because that is the problem with this SLPP. They think they are the most clever beings on the face of the earth. Guys, you're not. Some of us have, actually, if I want to tell people, when I know most responsibilities I get in my life, apart from my personal, my family, my work, I'm split. But we're doing this. I'm not getting paid for what I'm doing. I'm sacrificing my time, my energy. Because these guys, we cannot let them take us down a path of destruction. Because that is what they're doing. But let me show you guys this video of our sister again, Josephine Kamara. Why did President Mio not even take Josephine Kamara to that summit? Instead of taking his family, instead of taking his kids, his wife, why did he take Josephine Kamara? So let me share, with Josephine Kamara with you guys, so you guys can take a look and see what she said. And then we'll link out to the Lincoln Queen again, so you guys can see, for all the talk of girls' empowerment. Let's watch this.
Josephine, can I come to you now as a leader of now, as Malala has described young women and men campaigning around the world? Can I ask you, what has the COVID pandemic exposed about inequity and especially the digital divide in Sierra Leone?
Well, yeah, schools were closed for 2 months. Immediately, we recorded the first COVID-19 case in Sierra Leone. And I must say, for a country coming from Ebola, we've learned that education should not stop due to a pandemic, because the fact is, if there's anything that could help us recover faster from COVID, it is a well-educated population. So one of the learning we took from Ebola to our COVID response was just continuing teaching and learning activities through radio. I work with a feminist organization here called Purposeful, and we're reaching about 17,000 out-of-school girls in 600 girls-only safe spaces, and through a weekly radio show that I also co-host. So it's very clear, and I've understood, and with data backing this, that radio continues to be the most effective platform for reaching a more wider audience in my country. But radio media is still a privilege withheld from girls because of ideas like all form of tech is not a girl thing, and so that people around us tell us to go cook instead of sit around and listen to the radio, even if it's for
so much for your intervention.
I am a broadcasting and journalism student from the Limpopo University of Creative Technology, Sweden. I was opportune to be one of the government-sponsored students at Lincoln University. Since August, we closed classes for the third semester. The classes are not going on because almost 3 years since I left school. This is as a result of the present government has failed to honor the agreement they had with the university. And we as students has been lobbying all those of stakeholders to see that we resume classes. But it's been almost 3 years now since we've been lobbying, but our lobbying seems to be fruitless.
That is it. So the question is, why didn't President Leo take this young lady with him to London, but he had to take his own family? You know, but again, the fundamental question is, Cashbox, with everything we're doing, the fundamental question is, who funded that private jet? And we want the GPE partners to ensure that if they're going to give these guys money, please, put measures in place so this money reaches these people. Look at these students, 1,000 students. You know how many lives are impacted by 1,000 students not being in school at this particular moment? But you're telling the world of all of these glossy, beautiful things, this utopia, this planet that you guys are living in, that we don't know what planet is that. And we try to find our way in this planet. That is why we're calling you guys home. So you all will understand that, no, enough is enough. We're not going to let these things scoot by. Not under our watch, not in these times. If you guys are going to preach something, practice what you preach. We're going to hold you guys accountable. You know, Kashi, I can go on and on. There's a lot of videos. The live is long already. It's 52 minutes. I don't want it to get over an hour. But this is what I'm going to leave with my friends. For all of us, this is the video. You know, maybe we can lighten things up a little bit. You know, everything is very tense. But let me make an appeal to those folks. You voted for the SLPP. This is for you. Listen to the song. And we're going to end this live. But we want to...
Ibrahim, just before we end it, and maybe hopefully it's very short, I think maybe we need towards the end, let's show the people, like, you know, the GPE thing, let's just remind people that this thing started way back. The old GPE thing, it's on their website. It says, like, this all is the EP or ESP program, educational something, that the previous, which was appraised in 2017, July, and then it was endorsed by the donor partners in 2017. This was for a project that was supposed to start in 2018 and then finish in 2020 or 2021. But this government always been the tell we say the former government be kind of like the thief the country in money. But this was like a project we didn't sign. They kind of like, it was appraised, it was endorsed, it was confirmed, signed by the development partners for make UNACA use them now. But yet still, UNA be the kind of like tell we all kind story. You know, Salon people, as you try for close, Ibrahim, we're not doing this for kick SLPP in a power. For me, I need the SLPP to be around.
No.
I need...
Take it back, my brother.
No, Ibrahim, the reason why I say so, we need like a strong opposition.
They have to go.
You're on mute, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, go on.
I'm just saying, they have to go, Cashbox.
No. What I'm saying, as a party, I'm not, definitely this government needs to go.
No, SLPP as a political party, we can go on and on why SLPP not even function as earlier. But we don't want to.
Absolutely.
Cashbox,
you don't send me and you to get divided view on this. Hey. But the point I always this, like, I just want kind of like preach to the people. Like, what we need is the change of mindset. Let people change. Let people change their mindset, because the life you live in now, I'm telling you, Ibrahim, we like, not to forget this. We saw the average salary in Singapore is about $1,700 a month. That is what the average Singaporean, they actually earn. We own country, guess what? The minimum wage is 600,000 leons. Do you know what? It's $60. Life should be beyond that. And this is what I'm trying to say to these guys. For now, leave your SLPP party and vote for the right reason. Make your life change. And I see what you mean. You know, say you na hardcore man. You don't anyway. Carry on, please.
No, but Cashbox, you know, it's a fact. You know, we cannot condone this nonsense because you see, the thing is, a political party that has indoctrinated its people so much to the point where everything
Agree.
now, these were the same thing.
Yeah.
They were just pushing fake propaganda about the former APC government.
Absolutely.
Cosmetic roads and this and that and all that foolishness when the former president was actually building roads. These guys have been indoctrinated so much to the point when you go to the southeast, for a lot of them, not all of them, SLPP is like a religion. They don't mind, and they did for tea for it. They don't get them, they don't get place for them, but they will tell you, say the SLPP, they don't come up here. That is how sad it is. That is why we have to, you know, make sure, say, we implant this into the hearts and minds of these people to understand that there has to be a better way.
You're on mute, Ibrahim. I cannot hear you, I think.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I was, you know, actually just trying to play that sound, but for some reason, that video gave me a hard time. But this is all we wanted to do, guys. Just present this. The live is already an hour. We don't want to get to that point, but we just want to partners. If you guys are going to give these guys money, please let it reflect on our people. That is the appeal that we're making. So to all the folks, everybody, you know, again, the fundamental question is, who paid for that flight? Is it that Mami Modu, where they sell the market? Now you pay for that flight, say, we want to know. These are the things we're asking. These are the questions we're asking. Who paid for the flight? Who paid for this flight? It is a fundamental question that deserves an answer. And that is why we want to show people so that we can get the necessary answers out of this. Who paid for this flight? We don't care if the president was invited, not invited. He had a choice to stay in Sierra Leone. But he said, okay, I want to go because again, the guy told me the last time, the country is filthy and it's dirty. These guys are looking for an opportunity to go out and just go breathe fresh air. They don't care about fixing the problems. They don't care for fixing the sanitary conditions that we have. But who paid for this flight is the fundamental.
Yes, sir.
Who paid for this flight? Who paid for this flight is the question that we have. Look at money picking and vacation again. Who paid for this flight? We demand to know. And for all the big talk of this government, we want to know. So Malala, you know, the chair lady, all of you guys that organize this event, we are demanding. We want to know if you guys are going to give them money. Are you going to monitor this money? How is this money spent? Is this money going to reach the far villages where there's no road, where there's no electricity, where these kids have to walk 5-6 miles just to get to the closest school? These guys have never built one school since they came to power. So for all the advocacy, look at Lincoln Queen. Look at Lincoln Queen students. Pleading to the government. Pleading to the government. For all the talk, look at them. 1,000 students are grounded today. So when you guys are going out there raising these funds for these kids, are you making sure that these monies reach the people?
I'm a student of the Lincoln Queen University of Creative Technology, Sierra Leone campus. One of my dreams was to become a telecoms engineer and a self-entrepreneur. But today, I've become victim of circumstances. And I happen to find myself at the quarry with my mom breaking stone. You know, this has been the job of my mom, breaking stones, sending us to school. Till I got the opportunity to be one of the beneficiaries of Lincoln Queen University.
I am a broadcasting and journalism student from the Lincoln Queen University of Creative Technology, Sierra Leone. I was opportune to be one of the government-sponsored students at Lincoln Queen University.
I'm a final year student at Lincoln Queen University. I came from a family of 5, and I was the only one who was opportune with a university education.
Since August, we closed classes for third semester.
Guys, I don't want to keep it long. I already played this video. But this is what I'm going to close with. And guys, after this video, the live ends. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you guys. Let us do our civic duties. Cashbox, don't leave just yet. Let us perform our civic duties. As citizens of Sierra Leone, we have a responsibility. Section 13. Before I play this video, let me take you guys to Section 13 of the Constitution. It tells us as citizens we have a responsibility. And what is our responsibility? It is right here. As a citizen. It is right here. It says, cultivate a sense of nationalism and patriotism so that loyalty to the state shall override national, ethnic, tribal, or other loyalties. That is what I want to leave with you guys. So for you guys that are supporting the SLPP and you know what is happening, you know the state of affairs in our country, you know these guys are not performing, you know these guys are criminals and thieves. I mean, you can look at the African Express report. It is there. The First Lady, she by herself has stolen over 30 billion yuan. That's over $3 million. She can pay for all of those kids that are languishing today at Lincoln Queen, that are now prostitutes, that have gone back to broken stones. You guys, you're an SLPP supporter. I'm not call out these people for what they are doing. That is what true governance means. But I'm going to leave this video of this young lady because, if anything, she advised African leaders, including President Bio, for take up from here. And this is what we need in our country for every Sierra Leonean. So bye-bye, everybody. Watch this video, and after this video, the life is over, and then we'll leave it from there. I'll join you again tomorrow. Guys, the topic is so boku. And boku, Cashbox, no. Everything we want, it's a lot. But when I watch this video.
And I'm going to draw Selena into the conversation now. COVID is one of several crises facing the global community today. Obviously, we also face the climate crisis, where young people have raised their voices to demand change. Selena, how do you think these are linked, and how important is education to tackling the climate crisis?
Also in Kenya, not all students were able to return to school after the COVID pandemic. And therefore, we've lost many futures to teenage pregnancy, child marriages, entrance into the workforce, or just simple discouragement. And I think education is the best tool that we can use to fight change. Because through education, young people like us have become better leaders, and we have become better at sharing knowledge and experience with our local communities. So I want to take opportunity to ask world leaders to really prioritize quality education for all girls, as it is an essential pillar for a better future for them and for the whole society. Thank you.
Thank you so much.